This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show. This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show.
YouTube, what is up? I'm your homeboy Josh, back at you with a review of the KBOX, 200 watt KBOX by Kanger Tech. Come on in here, let's take a look at this thing. YouTube, today we are taking a look at the 200 watt KBOX from Kanger Tech. Sleek, sexy packaging on these Kanger products, I gotta tell you. Love their design, their artwork, everything about Kanger products just has a super sleek look to them in terms of the packaging. Box opens up just like so, slide it on open just like this. Inside you got your warranty card, your manual, some stickers. Stickers will come back to you momentarily, and your KBOX. I got mine in red, of course, because it just looks so awesome with that glossy red finish. So you got this letter K punched out nice and bold, just popped on through these little holes here. On the side of the box, you've got the Kanger Tech logo all hollowed out here. All this for venting, really. And on the side, it says Kanger Tech. And then up front, you got your nice buttons, clicky buttons, and a beautiful display. Beautiful display. Sleek, tiny box for what it is. For how powerful this box is, it's not much bigger than a pack of cigarettes. It is a tiny box, fits perfectly in a breast pocket. It disappears in your hand. It is the perfect size, super, super comfortable, rounded edges everywhere. Excellent, excellent ergonomics on this box. Battery door pops on off just like this. The whole area is exposed here. There's almost no lost space on this box. I don't think they could make it any smaller. Getting the batteries out, super easy. Just bang the box against your hand just like that. Batteries pop right out, super easy. There's almost no unused space on this box. They optimized the size of this box for these batteries, for the chip, and that's about it. There's not a whole lot of wasted space. They keep it very compact. And the tolerances on the door are perfect. There's no rattle to it. It snaps into place, doesn't come off unless you want it to come off, pulling it off, holding basically the top and the bottom, pulling it off like that. It's the only way to really get it apart. It stays together really, really nicely. And back to these stickers. So these stickers come in so that you can basically wrap your battery or wrap it around your battery, but you only need to wrap it in this one area. It's so that, you know, if you're looking at the mod from the side where it shows the Kanger Tech logo on the back, then all you see is just that black space. You don't see the color of the battery. And it adds to the aesthetic. I think it's pretty cool that they include those. 5 clicks to turn it on. The display is beautiful. I don't know how well it's going to pick up on video, but I feel like the display in there is actually a lot smaller than it appears to be. And it's almost like the glass is like a magnifying glass, making it appear larger than it actually is. It's a really, really nice, clear display. Very, very easy to read. 3 clicks will cycle through the modes. You've got temp mode for nickel, temp mode for titanium, temp mode for nichrome, temp mode for stainless steel, and just a regular wattage mode. I love all the options that you get for the temp control here, especially that it comes with the ability for stainless steel, especially that it has the ability for nichrome, which I think is pretty cool that they tried to get nichrome temp control down. We'll try that in a little bit, but that's really, really neat. Variable wattage mode, it'll go from 7 watts to 200 watts. Holding down the up button or the down button, you'll see those numbers fly by, those wattage settings fly by very, very quickly. It'll basically fly through in 1 watt increments, but it's not so fast that you can't slow down and find the right wattage. You know, I noticed with some devices, it goes so fast that you just blow past where you're trying to get to, and you have to backtrack to it. No, with this it's actually pretty easy. It goes just fast enough that you can get the wattage you want. In temperature mode, it'll go from 200 degrees Fahrenheit on up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, going in 1 degree increments. And if you hold the button down, it'll fly through in 10-degree increments. So it's really easy, once again, to get the temperature that you're looking to get to. Switching your atomizer, what I've noticed in using this, what you want to do is basically screw your atomizer off, of course, then you want to go ahead and fire your mod. without an atomizer on there, and it will read 9.99 for the ohm meter. Now, reason you do that, if you put an atomizer right on without doing that, it'll just assume the same resistance that you had before. Generally, that's what happens. But if I fire it without anything on there, it'll flash 9.99. Then I'll put a fresh atomizer on there, and it will ask if it's a new atomizer, a new coil, or if it's an old coil. Up button for yes, down button for no. So it makes it really easy just to get the right resistance reading for the atomizer that I'm vaping. I like that it's consistent that way, that as long as I remember to do that, it'll read the right resistance every single time. The spring-loaded 510, everything on here fits just fine and will fire, but I have noticed that some things do leave a bit of a gap. So just something to keep in mind there. Not everything is going to sit nice and flush and look beautiful all the time, but a number of things will. Anyway, I'll see you guys back up top side. We'll vape on it. We'll talk about it.
So for a 200 watt device, this KBOX is pretty sleek. It's small in the hand. I mean, it really is. It basically disappears in the hand, almost. It's a small mod, okay? It's very stylish, very, very stylish, okay? Fits in the hand just like this. It's incredibly ergonomic, very, very comfortable to hold, and there's like no rattle to it, almost nothing. I mean, if you seriously, it is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet with the glossiness, okay? But it's not so offensive to me, and I actually just really like the finish. Now, I will say, sadly, it does get some wear over time around the 510 area. These mods, a lot of these mass-produced mods these days, they come out and they don't have anything like a connector, like a 510 connector, an actual, 510 connector. And over time, what happens is it just gets worn away, I really wish more mod makers would put out devices that have actual 510 connectors on them. Not just like a fucking, spring-loaded thing here. I understand it's cost savings. This is a lot cheaper than something like that. It really is, but it's a little thing that can make a world of difference in reality, Anyway, I'm at 200 watts over here, okay? And I know it's not really a feasible thing, speaking in terms of Ohm's law, to have two 18650s that will do 200 watts. I get that, I do. By the way, that's the other weird thing about this mod. You notice that? That's all it takes to open this on up, which is kind of a problem. I mean, it's not doing this if I'm just like moving around like that, but for someone that talks with their hands, a lot, be a little bit careful, because just the right flick of the wrist, it flies open. Other than that, it works pretty well. Anyway, what was I saying? 200 watts, yes. A 200 watt mod to have two 18650s, they have to be doing something like pulse width modulation or some kind of trick to get it to hit 200 watts or get it to make it feel like it's hitting 200 watts. But whatever they're doing, it's excellent. Because that feels like 200 watts. I mean, as a means of comparison, let me throw it on my DNA 200 right quick. This is the Evolve RDA. I mean, I'll say the ramp up is a lot faster in the DNA 200. A lot faster. It's almost instantaneous on the DNA 200. Okay? This it ramps up just a hair slower, just a hair. It's a noticeable difference, but it's still, it hits that 200 watts. I mean, it feels like it hits that 200 watts, Whatever they're doing, It works. It works very, very well. And you don't feel it like you do with pulse width modulation. It's a hot vape. It's a hot vape at 200 watts, and I can only hit it for a moment or two. Try hitting 200 watts in the Snow Wolf. You're going to know what pulse width modulation feels like. You can hear it. Do you hear that? Yeah. Come on, man. It just feels silly. It really does. I don't know. It feels weird. The moment you go past 150 on the Snow Wolf, they start using the pulse width modulation, and it's really bad. And that doesn't feel like 200 watts either. Not at all. Does not feel like the DNA 200. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That's a hot vape. Hot vape, instantaneous ramp up on a DNA 200. Okay? That's what 200 watts feels like. Do that over here. It has like a half-second ramp up to get there, but then it's just as hot and no pulse width modulation. For a tiny little dual 18650 mod, it packs a lot of power. A lot of power. I've been using this thing pretty much daily since I got it, and I've had it for a little while now. I bought it on FastTech right when it was on pre-sale, and it took until, that was like back in November. I didn't get it until like January. So I've had it a little bit. It took a long time to get to me coming from FastTech. It was yeah. It reminded me why I haven't ordered from FastTech in a long time. So yeah, even after it shipped with the pre-order and everything, it still took forever to get to me. But I've been enjoying it. I like this mod. For the price, I think you can buy it even in the United States, stateside, from a US vendor for like $50, something like that. I'll find a good price and I'll post it in the description. Awesome mod for the price. Awesome. And it comes in a few different colors. I really like the red one. The red one's really cool. Delicious. That's weird. Everything else is cool. It's like a snap of the finger, and then you get the full throttle of the 200 watts. I mean, I don't know if it's actually putting out 200 watts or if it's using some kind of trickery to get us there, but it does a very, very good job of making it feel like 200 watts, I gotta tell you. Damn. Anyway, till next time, I'm your homeboy Josh. Vape on, Vapers.